$17,000 for a clapped out 2006 Malibu? What the There you go. Cooking. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I'm Billy D, and this is, of course, Drink, Smoke, Build. Today, we are headed to my favorite and local salvage auction. It is viewing day. It's a Wednesday. They have auctions twice a month, so every other week. Wednesday is the viewing day, and then the auction happens online Friday through Sunday. So we are headed that way on a Wednesday in bad weather. We had about 3 inches of sleet last night and this morning, followed by another couple of inches of snow. So most people in Oklahoma, when we get even an inch or two of snow, aren't going to get out. They're not used to driving in this. They don't know how to drive in this. Fortunately, as you guys saw in my last couple of videos, snow driving is just kind of a thing for me, and I've been doing it pretty much since I started driving at 15. So I don't have any problem getting out in the old smoke show slash Lazy Boy Express and heading to my local auto auction. So we're headed that way, and I will holler at you guys once we get there, and we'll take a look at some of the vehicles. And then we will head online this weekend and actually bid on some vehicles, watch what some of the vehicles that I looked at went for, and give you guys an idea of why going to an auto auction in bad weather can be very beneficial, especially in a city like this. So we'll see you there. Oh. Well, that definitely didn't end up the way that I had hoped it was going to end up. So I'm gonna show you the walkthrough. I'm gonna show you all the vehicles we looked at. My plan was to show you that and then show you at the end what they went for and what I bought. Well, I ended up buying nothing, and it's because these prices were absolutely ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you each individual walkthrough and then what the price of that actually went for and how much higher it was than I expected it to be. So now I had gone back and looked at the previous auctions, and the prices were getting lower and lower, and it looked like that they had finally gotten to the point to where it was worth going to this auction, especially during this storm, because that's what happened at the last auction was a storm and the prices were low. And I figured, you know, that's probably going to happen again. I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's something fishy going on or what. Not really speculating. I'm just going to say that they're much higher than I expected them to be. And especially when you guys see this Malibu and what it went for, I think it was probably a typo. But if not, like, what the hell is going on with prices of auction cars right now? All right, guys, I'm going to get into it. You're going to see what these cars went for and what I thought they were worth to begin with for my needs, not necessarily for, you know, the actual market, but for me. All right, let's get to that now. Oh, it's dead. 206,000 miles. Hate not being able to start them. But it says on it that it runs, so we'll take them at their word. This one has the previous person's laundry in it. That happens sometimes, as you saw in my last Monte Carlo I bought from here. Let's take a look under the hood. Well, the hood's not in great shape, but it's not all dented up like mine. So this might make a decent parts car. Where is the latch? 3,500 instead of the 3,800 that's in mine. Everything looks to be there. Sometimes a lot of stuff is missing on these, as you guys will probably see. Bumper is in better condition than mine. No, maybe not. Got a little damage there, but nothing on the pillars, it looks like. Front passenger suspension issues. Passenger damage. Okay, not a big deal. We've got all the parts for that, of course. That's why I'm here, is to look for parts cars for my cars, as well as new cars. This Monte Carlo was the first of many cars at this auction that ended up going for way more than what I thought they were worth, especially for having 209,000 miles on it, lots of cosmetic issues, obviously not taken care of, just not worth it to me at anything over $500-600 to be able to do repairs and either flip it or turn it into a race car. It's a Buick, a real Buick. Key no run, hole in block, front driver damage. Yeah, I definitely don't want to mess with busted motor issues or transmissions, so try to stay away from those. Oh, hey, look, there's another Monte Carlo here. Let me look. This one supposedly sold at the last auction for $900. This is lot 50. I only see one Monte Carlo on the listing, but since it's still out here, it's probably still for sale. Key starts and moves. SS 2003. Much better condition than mine. In fact, mine would be the parts car for this one probably. Let's check the mileage and see if we can get it started. Hood's all fucked up. About as bad as mine was. Aftermarket wheels, which I'm not too excited about, but whatever. No supercharger. Kind of surprised it went for $900 without the supercharger. I thought for sure it had the supercharger on it. Guess not. Same motor as mine. It looks like the 3800 series. All right, let's see if she turns over. Oh, wow. Nice interior. Much nicer than what you normally see at these. Key. Dead as a doornail. And, of course, I can't see the mileage because it's dead. So, ooh, that's no good. But whatever, not a huge deal. I don't know about $900, but if it goes for less than that, well, actually, I won't touch it for anything over $500 probably. Ah, there we go. So it's important to note that this Monte Carlo is almost exactly the same condition that the one I bought this time last year that sold to me for $550. This one went for $1,200, which to me is just crazy. I couldn't get it to start, as you guys saw in the video, and the hood trashed, lots of it didn't look very good. The wheels were crap. This was just, to me, one of the most egregious examples of the bidding just going way too high. Kind of nice and poly here. I'm going to check it out, but I think it's probably going to go for more than I want. Usually the newer, like 2010 or newer, especially in decent condition like this, quite a bit more than I want to pay. This is 2009, but we'll check it out. Rack and pinion leaks. key runs. It's really not that big a deal. A little bit of door ding damage there. I have no idea what's going on there. Maybe the glass has been replaced and they didn't clean off where they had the tape. Who knows? What the hell is that from? All scratched up, and then back, front, not in bad condition, and dead as a doornail. All right. Still might consider it though. LT flex fuel. Now this Impala actually wouldn't have been too bad of a price at said $1,200, but it had what they said was a rack and pinion issue. If you take that to a shop, that's almost a $1,500 job. If you do it yourself, it's a couple $100 and a lot of time and effort. So again, just not worth it for me to get this car, although it might have been worth it for someone else. Lexus. I know more fanboys are going to want me to check that out. I'm not really into the Lexus Toyota scene. Like I said, I don't know much about these cars, but $3,000 seems a little freaking ridiculous for a 22-year-old hoopty to me. Let me know what you think in the comments. We're the Ford scene, but this is a GT, which means it has the V8, passenger side damage, key runs, 2020 or 2002, not 22. Doesn't look like there's any pillar damage, but definitely quarter panel damage, door. Not really that big of a deal, honestly. A little bit of damage on the bumper, hole in it. Let's make sure it's not lying, and it does have the V8. I count 4 injectors on this side, so sure enough. Let's see if this will crank up. Oh, look, we can't get into this one because it has tape over it. Interior, not the greatest. All right. 2 more cars that share parts with my Monte Carlo. 08 Impala, 08 Pontiac Grand Prix, motor knocks. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that. Radiator leaks. That's okay, that's not a big deal. Radiator swaps are easy and cheap on those. I'm not even gonna get in that one. Oh, look, it's got busted out rear glass, fucked up trunk. Okay, moving on. Jeep Liberty. (2003) power steering leaks, AC compressor bad, key runs. Not a bad looking car. Never been keen on these, but I might actually go for something like that for a gambler after seeing what Mitch did with his. Hey, look, Blazer. Looks like it's 2-wheel drive. Got some front end damage, some hail damage. Oh, back glass is being held in. Oh, that's plastic. 2001. It's not a 4-wheel drive because it doesn't have the rear gate. That's how you can tell on these 2-wheel drive Blazers that if they have the spare tire on the back, it's 4-wheel drive, no matter what. It's 4-wheel drive because you can't even get the 2-wheel drive version, get it mounted back here from the factory on a 2-wheel drive. So the price that this Blazer ended up going for absolutely blows my mind. $1,500 for a 2-wheel drive 20-year-old vehicle with busted out glass, and who knows what else is wrong with it. I absolutely can't wrap my head around this one. I have a 2000 Blazer ZR2 just like this one, but 4-wheel drive with the ZR2 package. And I'm pretty sure that I could put up for sale running and driving with a blown transmission would not pull $1,500. So again, I don't understand the prices on some of these vehicles, especially this one. Oh, look, an old Mustang, 97, front end problem, misfires. That is not a Mustang. That is a Thunderbird. What the hell? when I first saw it, I was like, wait, that back end doesn't match. That's a Thunderbird. And it is a Thunderbird. I don't know why I said Mustang. I'm an idiot. Ooh, look. An Aurora. No run, motor locked. Damn, that was too bad. I was hoping that might be a decent vehicle. Mustang. Yeah. 94, missing brake parts. No move. Key starts. Saturn SC2 in a red. No run, timing broke, front tire damage. Front driver damage. And that sucks because I was kind of hoping to get one of those, but I don't want to mess with it if the timing chain or belt is broken. All right, what else we got? Malibu Max. A lot of you guys may not know about this car. It's not particularly special. It's just kind of rare. They're out there. It's not rare like Lamborghini rare, but they didn't make as many of these as they did the regular Malibus. And I don't remember how many years they made it, but it wasn't very long. So this one doesn't look like there's too much damage, a little bit on the bumper. I'm not too worried about a lot of body damage. I don't want pillar damage. I don't want busted out suspension. I want the car to run and drive. Don't care as much about the cosmetics. Because I'm either going to turn it into a race car or I'm going to try to flip it. And at that point, I can't get the hood open. There we go. It's an interesting place for the battery. Never seen that before, but I've never actually opened the hood to one of these before either. Let's see if we can get this one running. It says it runs. Interior, actually pretty nice. But the Malibu Max has basically a little hatchback back there. That makes it different from the regular Malibus. Dash is kind of fucked up, but hey, the actual dash isn't that bad. Let's see here. Mileage? Anybody? No? Doesn't want to give me mileage? None of these buttons want to do anything. Maybe you have to turn it on. It runs. Ooh, it runs like shit. 209,000 miles. Oh, there we go. It's just cold. Oh, and it's out of gas. Actually, it sounds pretty good. This might be worth looking at. 209,000 miles. I can deal with that. All right. Oh, you know what? I should have seen if the transmission works. First gear. Moves. Reverse. Moves. Yeah. This is definitely one we're gonna keep our eye on. Yuck. So this Malibu going for $16,701, I think was probably a typo. The bidder probably meant to put $1671. Regardless, I think either one of those prices is pretty extreme for what this is. 210,000 miles. Yes, I know it's an SS, but again, it's just a Malibu. Even if it is a Malibu Max SS. There are clean examples of this with a lot less miles on Facebook Marketplace in my area for less than $3,000. So still seems like a risk to me, even at $1671. What do we got here? An Acura. Man, I know a lot of you Acura fanboys out there want me to look at this. 3.2. Two-door with the fender replaced. It looks like it's a Texas car, which if it's been tagged recently, that's good because they have to go through an emissions check that we don't here in Oklahoma. So I don't know what I'm looking at here, but that's pretty. It's been painted. Interior. Ew. Ew. I do not even want to sit in that. and I'm not going to. Let's check the mileage on it. Oh, look at that. Dead as a doorbell. All right. That's not really saying, is it? Dead as a doornail. That's the saying. Regardless, there it is, you guys. Have no idea the mileage on it. Oh, hey, look. Another Buick. Runs. Titscher pulley bad. Motor mount's bad. 2000. Take a look at the front in a second. Let's see if it'll... Oh, wow. Couple of cigarette burns, but besides that, holy shit, that is clean interior. Super clean. Somebody took care of this. And dead as a doornail. I swear it's like that on purpose half the time when you come out here. Oh, hey, look. It's my motor, which means it has my transmission. This could most definitely be something that we bought to rob the motor and transmission out of. Or who knows, just send it the way that it is. How you guys doing?
Hi there, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Did you come through the front?
Yeah. Through there?
Yeah, they didn't even let us know.
Yeah. Now, I've done motor mounts on these types of vehicles. I actually have a video here on the Monte Carlo doing the transmission and motor mount on it. So that's not really that big of a deal. It's a fairly simple job. But for $900, I mean, even with the clean interior and everything, I just don't feel that that is a decent price for something that's at an impound auction. And that's really my biggest issues with all this, guys, is not a single car here is perfect. Not a single car here is even a 5 out of 10. Most of these cars are junk. And that's why these prices really upset me, is because they're only good for putting a lot of money into flip, turning into some sort of race car or something like that, or buying them to sell for the parts. And I think $900 is just ridiculous for this. Holy crap, guys. I can't believe I walked right past this twice. 4x4 94 Grand Cherokee with some really decent rubber on it. Well, maybe not. Oh, no, there's some good tread left there. Oh, yeah. If it goes cheap enough, it might be worth it just for the tires. Let's see what it's got going on here. Key runs, 4x4, 94, Laredo trim, decent interior, 216,000 miles, and dead as a doornail. But hey, at least it's got manual mileage, so I know how much is on it. All right, moving on. So I was actually interested in possibly purchasing this, and at $1,200 really wasn't that bad of a deal, and it actually could have ended up being worth it. But I don't know anything about the transmission, about the engine. It had fairly high miles, so there could have been some catastrophic issues with it, and I just wasn't willing to take that gamble. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Key, missing exhaust. Key starts 2012. Let's see if we can find out. It's got some off-road tires on it, so I wonder if it's four-wheel drive. Oh, it's one of those with the electric key, and it's not in here. Well, no way to tell the mileage on it. This is definitely in rough shape. But it's a nice Jeep, so if it does run, whatever it sold for, might be worth it. 2012. Yeah, I bet money this will go for more than $5,000, which is probably worth it, but not what I want to pay for something. Okay, so this Jeep ended up going for what I think was the second most ridiculous price of this auction at almost $6,000. Yes, I know it's a newer, it's 2012. I know that it looks like it's in decent condition, but again, you just don't know with these cars, and $6,000 for a impound car, even if it is new and has lower mileage. Huge gamble. Now, I know if you bought this for parts, it might end up paying off pretty good, but you still have to take it apart and sell those parts. Okay, so here's the real reason we came out here. Well, the Monte Carlo was one, but trucks. That's one of the big reasons why I come here, because you can get decent trucks for cheap in a market when they're extremely inflated. Blown head gasket. That sucks. That would have been a nice truck. I don't want to have to deal with another 5.3 motor issue. Already got enough as it is. Almost $2,100 for a truck with a blown head gasket that's 19 years old, who knows how many miles and what other issues are wrong with it. 2004 4x4 key runs. And it is a Suburban Z71. Oh my. Oh my. It's a 2004, so that means it has the all-time four-wheel drive like mine, which kind of sucks, but oh wow. Oh wow, I don't think I've ever seen a seat in the 2003, 4, or 5 that didn't have a tear or a crease in it. Well, that's par for the course there. And then let's see if we have power. Oh, we have power. Give me mileage. Please be low. 178,000. That's low for these. Oh. Ooh, she sounds good. Ooh, she sounds real good. Oh my. Guys, you might have found my next daily. You know how I am with my Suburbans. Yeah, this is definitely going on the list. Oh, look, it has a sunroof. 190,000. Service airbag. What other warnings do we have? Don't give a shit about that. Buckle seatbelt. Look, there's no check engine light either. Oh wow. Let's take a look at the motor. Sounds good. No lifter tick. All right, let's see if there's any damage on the back that I haven't seen yet. She's in good shape. She's in really good shape. Little dent there, no biggie. Oh, hey, look. Trim coming out. Happens in every Suburban I've ever had with these lift gates. A rack. True Z71. Oh, yes. Yes. This is probably going to go for way more than it should, but I'm definitely on track with getting this if I can get it for cheap enough. Dude, my wife would kill me if I came home with another Suburban. So as you guys can probably tell, I was really interested in buying this truck. As you know, I have 2 Suburbans right now in my possession, and I love the Suburban platform. This one was kind of a unicorn, being that it didn't have a check engine light on. It had less than 200,000 miles and was in pretty good shape cosmetically, on top of being a Z71. So the $3,000 price that it sold at actually is probably a decent deal for this, as long as there wasn't anything else wrong with it. But I just couldn't bring myself to drop $3,000 on something when I'm specifically looking for cars under $1,000 that I can either flip or keep for myself, which is what I had planned on doing with this Suburban. So there you have it. This auction did not turn out at all like I was hoping it would. So as I hope that I conveyed well enough to you guys in the video, that these prices might look on the surface like they are a good price for this particular vehicle, but you've got to remember that these are mostly junk cars. These cars have been put through the ringer, and these people were doing something illegal, and then they were junk enough cars that they didn't want to pay the money to get them out of impound. So most of these cars are crap, and they're good for using for parts, or for maybe fixing up a little bit and, you know, thrashing around in, or actually using it as a daily. But like, for instance, say that Suburban, I bought it for $3,000. Got it, brought it home, and realized that it had a rear main seal leak. Parts aren't particularly expensive when it comes to that job, but the labor is intense. You have to completely drop the transmission or pull the motor to be able to replace that seal. So if I ended up buying it for $3,000 and bringing it home and realizing something like that had gone wrong with it and that I was going to have to fix it and I was going to be out of pocket either $1,500 or $2,000, or try to do it myself and put myself out for a week or two, because I'm not super good at that kind of stuff. So that's why these prices just blow me away, because you never know what's going to happen with these vehicles. And they always, in the past, like before around a year ago, they went for decent prices. I bought this Suburban that I'm sitting in right now for $800. Not a single Suburban in this body style, the GMT 800, not a single one went for under $1,000. In fact, it was $1,200, $3,000. One that went for $2,000 that I didn't show you in the video, but it went for $2,000, and it had been, the entire windshield and front part of the roof had been crushed in, like a giant pole fell on it. And I mean, as you guys know, that's thousands of dollars to fix something like that. Now, might have been a good parts vehicle, but for $2,000, that's just, it just seems really excessive to me. When I bought this, it runs and drives. So it has problems, but it runs and drives. And I have put like 4,000 miles on it, commuting with it, off-roading it, as you guys have seen. And it cost me $800 a year ago. The Monte Carlo, same thing, $500. Two Monte Carlos, very similar to the one I bought. And remember, I drove mine out of there and drove it home. Didn't have to do a whole lot to it. Stripped it to make it a race car, and I paid $550 for that. And they were going for $900 and $1,200 at this last auction. So my question to you guys is, why are we seeing these prices? And I get it with the whole inflation and with all of the supply chain issues with the chips and stuff when it comes to most cars, but impound auctions are a different animal. And these seemed like they had been pretty much inflation proof, so to speak, for the auto market, and for a while was a good place to buy cheap cars. But now, and has been for a while, they're just going for ridiculous prices. So you guys tell me in the comments what you think. Oh, something else. Is there a possibility, since everything was cheap the week before, is there a possibility that maybe there's some foul play going on, that there's some people bidding up? Not trying to point any fingers, but, you know, that's always a possibility since the prices were cheaper last auction. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you guys for joining me and sitting through this fairly long video. Don't forget to like, share, comment. I will see you guys in the next one. Billy D, peacing on out of here.